Aloha golfers, welcome to Golf in the Cosmos, episode number 14. I'm Kevin Robowski, and here we talk all things Mac O'Grady and Morad. Today's video is part 2, Mac O'Grady with Ken Brown, and this is Ken Brown, the American Ken Brown, not the English Ken Brown. And Ken was in the Morad program for many years in the late 80s, early 90s. And Jodi Mudd. So Joni Mudd was a fantastic amateur golfer, professional golfer. He won the Players Championship at Sawgrass and was in contention at the Masters several times. Jodi has an impeccable swing, very much the epitome of the Morad methodology from the 80s, and powerful, simple, repetitive, controlled, basically again, pretty flawless. It's too bad Jodi retired early in his life. He retired maybe in his early 30s, and I think he became a rancher in Kentucky. And that basically was maybe his life dream, maybe similar to Byron Nelson. Jodi quit competitive golf. I'm not sure if Jodi and Mac had a falling out, but Jodi definitely represented the Morad method to a T. And if he had stayed active as a player, he might have represented Morad in some way, some fashion through the late 90s, 2000s, but it wasn't to be. Mac in this video, and again we're looking at maybe 1990, is definitely getting a little more complicated. And so he's very, very sure of himself, and so he's high confidence, he's in high spirits, and it's adding quite a few dimensions to the swing. Shoulder alignment versus hip alignment versus club face alignment and path. So, and then again to create different curvatures. And this video goes well into drawing the ball or hooking the ball. Mac is really calling drawing the ball, hooking the ball. So make sure that you don't get the two confused. Also, Mac is very much, coaching Jodi, so it's nice to see this relationship on video. And again, it's really nice to see how Mac worked with different players, especially tour pros. And so, yeah, lots of good stuff on this video. Very technical video and very much draw bias. So, again, it's kind of unusual because Mac was a fade player, and now he's kind of very excited to go and delve into the draw mechanics. So that's interesting. The other thing that he sort of reveals is maybe his lack of understanding of the swing in the 80s. And now he's getting a better knowledge base on the swing as a whole. I'm not so sure I agree with that, but again, Mac throughout the years is experimenting, he's updating the Morad methodology, adding this, subtracting that, coming back, going forward. So there's a lot of adjustments and evolution in the Morad model. A lot of you really question why he didn't leave the 86 version alone. I think mainly because he wasn't satisfied with his results. And I think that, again, made him think that there was more to the swing than he was addressing. And so it prompted him to delve deeper and make adjustments. I think that's really the reason why. And although, I guess, another way you could think of it is that as human beings, we only have a certain degree of proficiency and accuracy we can perform this movement. And it's going to be a little bit like day to day. Just like basketball players, pitchers, hitters, tennis players, timing and rhythm are integral parts. It's just not swing mechanics. So these variables make the game of golf very difficult. And I think you have to have a certain mindset where A, you have to accept that, and B, is you have to be willing to play ugly golf and grind it out. I think that's what champions have in common. And perhaps Mac wanted to solve the riddles of the swing and not rely on that aspect of the game. And that's what kept prompting him to delve deeper and explore more. And that was, again, the evolution of the swing. But if you look at Jodie Mudd's swing here, this is purely representative of the 1986 Morad method, and I don't think it gets any better than that. So.
Did you hit the standby here and hit the go button? On the right hand side. Look inside the camera. Am I in there 100%? What? Yes?
Yeah, we're recording right now.
Okay, watch this cut fade here. First swing of the day. And the man in the red. Okay. Now. My shoulders are lined up to the white flag. My hands are going to move towards the bridge. Club is going to move towards the lady in the pink. The ball cut at the man in the red. See the yellow flag?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my shoulders at the white, the yellow flag, white flag. My hand's going to move towards the bridge. Club head's going to move towards the man in the red. And the ball's going to fade over to the yellow flag. Watch this. Okay.
Now, when you said your hands are going to go. You don't
path
need
of the hands.
Huh?
Path of the hands. Now watch this. This time I'm going to go have my body lined up to the white flag. The hand's going to move towards the bridge, and the ball's going to go right towards the lady. Actually, my body's going to line up to the white flag. Wherever the truck is, my hands are going to go. The club is going to go towards the bridge. The ball's going to go towards the lady in the pink shorts. Every time. Now watch this one.
You're altering the path of your hands on these swings?
Yeah, I'll explain the whole ball away. Now watch this. This time, body at the white flag, I'm going to hit it right at the bridge.
Right up the bridge?
Yeah, watch. See where my shoulders are? Right at the bridge.
Yeah.
Watch. My hands are going to move towards the path of the guy in the red. Club head's going to move towards the yellow flag. The ball will go right at the bridge. Jody, how are you?
Good.
Say hello to Kent Brown here.
How you doing?
He's one of Morad's board of directors here.
Okay. Yeah, saw him at the Palm Springs plant.
Yeah. Okay. Now. Shows the yellow flag. Hey, My mechanic, 0 to 10, 100. I know everything right now.
What?
I know exactly what everything is doing.
Okay.
These fade shots and everything else, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 50 degrees. I just showed them how I hit one ball right here, lined up at the white flag here, my shoulders. I show how my hand path is going to go towards the guy in the red. Club head's going to go towards the yellow flag. The ball's going to go right at the bridge over there. Even though my shoulders are lined up over here. Watch. Now, you ready? Hooking the golf ball? Perfect. I used to hit these junior college hooks. I can take this brassy right here. I can fly this thing 5-yard hooks, 10-yard hooks, 50-yard hooks, 60-degree hooks. Remember you were hooking the ball before? Man, I know exactly what's taking place now. See, if I hit this too hard, I'm gonna hit these people in the head here. With the hook shots. Where go? Go to a corner. Junior college hooks like this. More left. Nice high draw, 5-yard high draw here. How about 15? Okay. Five-yard high draw here. I love Billy Casper. I guarantee before we leave here today, we'll have these golf balls. Everything. You know the wood. If I take the wood or that brush, I Okay, watch this, Kent. Forearm. Shoulders at the white flag, hands towards the guy in the white, club head towards the yellow flag. Where's the ball going?
Hands at the.
Fell in the red.
Okay.
Club head's moving towards the yellow flag.
We're
Where's the
gonna
ball
hit it right
going?
of the bridge then.
Right of the bridge.
What's your divot look like?
Did one right here.
It's not really fun. Give us the guy over there.
Yeah, but this path my hands. Club face open like this. Okay, we gotta remember something. As I come, I'm spinning a little bit left, but I feel from 6 to 7 it's moving out towards the fell in the red. You go to moderate the cutting. Maybe cut. You just have to know how to moderate the path of the hands. It's the simplest thing. What hand's in charge? Turn this off. I should come back and watch us. Hey, you know Rick Dandy?
Huh?
Rick Dandy?
taping?
You're one of the few people I can trust.
It's Cosa Nostra, by the way.
Hey, listen, I didn't say I was smart. Okay, ready? Trevino will set up. If he sets up at the bridge, well, let's say you white flag. If he sets up there, he'll hit punch fade, starting at the lady in the blue bottom there and fade it towards the orange flag. Trevino will set up like this, line up this way, take it outside, flatten this out, take it up, loop it, and then come out and push it down the line this way. His butt has always left his body, you know that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So he'll line it up like this, have his body left. But then when it comes an impact like this, his hands are moving towards the lady in the blue, and the ball will cut towards the orange flag. His hands aren't going down the plane line towards the white flag. They're going out away. You know, he's got this kind of looping. You know that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you got to bear in mind also, why is this guy been so good? I mean, it drives people nuts to think that you can line up absolutely 45 degrees left to your target like this, take the club outside like he did, and hit punch fades, and hit the ball pretty straight. You know, I'm not saying I'm doing a fair representation of his swing here, but club goes outside like this. What people don't understand is how you can get so open and hit the ball straight versus trying to get the plane line, the target line square and hit it straight that way. That's the hardest ball to hit straight. There's no doubt about it. And you know what it's based on? How the humerus bone connects into the shoulder joint. I've told you that. If you go up like this, if you move it 45 degrees left, it stops. Well, if I come down to impact, square to square, I come right here, my shoulder socket's going to stop here. Then the only way I can time this hand, this clicks, is going to go over. So I got to go like this, or I got to rotate through the ball. What if you got forward rotation, then your upper body passes? The upper body passes, the hand can't no longer go down the line. But if you're like Trevino, open, like this, coming 45 degrees, I can move my right arm down the line with no freedom, without any restriction. Just like if I stood here and I moved it that way. Well, if I turn my shoulder 90 degrees and moved it this way, I got complete freedom. That I can just move it square all the way through here like this. If I stand here this way, anatomically, come here, it automatically clicks and it's going to turn over.
It'd be like trying to bowl like this or something.
What?
It'd be like bowling, going down there sideways as
Okay.
opposed to being open and let it.
No. If you're going to bowl, you can move your arm free.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If you had to go down here like this, right, now you got problems.
Yeah, because your hand's going to roll over.
Okay. So
Okay.
now if you keep putting that ball back farther in your stance, and you know, as Kelly said about, I need a couple more clubs here. Now, you know this about angle of approach, angle of attack. Rick, is this camera focused up closer to me, or is it a long ways away?
No, it's cool.
Right.
Hey, Matt, can I cut this one on too?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Actually, you know what you do? Why don't you put on my camera, because this is a 1000.
This is alright.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. You know what we do here for a second? Let's, Mark, you want to put the golf bag and rest on the golf bag? Okay, here we go. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but if I have the ball, here's my stance. If I have the ball back in this position, this is the shaft, the angle of approach of the club. You know that, right, Jody? Mm-hmm. All right. This is the angle of approach that the club will come into the plane line. If I move the ball up farther in my stance, then the angle of approach line becomes this shaft right here. It starts coming more around the axis. This is the ball position, then it becomes this club shaft right here. If I move it farther up my stance, then it almost becomes parallel to as the club starts moving forward. If the ball's back on my stance, like this, the angle of approach line changes, and then also the angle of attack changes. The more I have the ball farther up in the stance, the angle of attack starts getting more and more shallow and starts coming down the line more. You understand that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what Trevino does with this program, if I take these 4 balls, if I play this ball back in my stance right here, this one, where Trevino usually plays it, well, if I take it up and I come down and I have my hands forward pressed like this, how can and if I keep my second axis tilt, how can I score the blade up? The club is still coming around the axis. You can't hook. And this is how Trevino plays. If he's going to hit it the lady in the blue, he lines up left like this with the ball back in the stance, so when I come to impact like this, club is still coming around the axis. The ball has to cut. Club goes up, outside, bang. Okay? So, what we're doing is, like Trevino, is if my shoulders are lined up left, and there's actually 4 lines here. I got 1 line going left. Next one goes about 10 degrees right of that. That's where the hand path is going to move. And the club face is going to go a little bit right of that, where it's lined up. And the ball will go about 10 degrees right of that one. Take it up like this. And the hands literally go away from the body this way. I'm not trying to go around the axis here. I'm trying to stay behind it, push the hand outward. And it just depends to what degree that you want to cut the golf ball. Do me a favor, why don't you stand directly behind me this time? Okay? Yeah, you too can. Go ahead. If I have my shoulders at that breakage out there, I'm going to move my hand to the man in the red shorts right there. That's the path my hands are going to move, which is about 10 degrees right of where my shoulder line is. And then my club face will be lined up a little bit to the right, the man in the white, and the ball will cut the yellow flag. The yellow flag, well, this is where I want the ball to wind up. My plane line is like this, is almost 30 degrees left of the target. Push it a little bit. Do it again. I pull it a little bit. So if the ball goes back in the stance, how can you hook it? Make sense? If I keep putting the ball back farther and farther back over here, I can get it over there. If I keep my hands go off this way, if my hands follow the same angle of approach line goes off like this, the ball's got to cook. I mean, it's got to cut. So if I'm set up open as like this, and the ball's back in my stance, here I'm set up with my stance line. The ball's back in my stance slightly to the right of middle, and here's the angle of approach line of the club head. All right, I'm just going to let my hand I'm going to follow my hands right down the angle of approach line. Ball's back. Ball's got to go towards the bridge. Right here. So if I continue to let it go out, that way it's got to go in that direction. All you want to make sure that the ball doesn't hook on you. Now, the key here is wherever your angle of approach line is coming into the ball, you got to just make sure your hands follow on the same line. You don't come around the axis. You actually keep moving off away like this. You get this real high, soft, lazy little cut shot. Now, I'm going to hook the golf ball. The hands have got to, you can have the ball back in your stance again, but the hands have to go left. And it's a real, the left elbow stays real low to the ground this way. You get to the top, you're not trying to keep your leg, you're actually coming down here and releasing the thing, and your left arm is moving left. Your body's to the right, but your left arm's going left this way.
Now you changed your setup.
Excuse me?
You changed your setup.
See, I haven't.
You've adjusted your stance and body about 20, 30 degrees closed.
For the hook shot.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the degree of if you want 5 or 10 yards, right?
But just the path, the downward path of the club shaft still on the same as a cut. Because you've changed your body, moved the ball up, and now you're going to just stay real low with your left arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're going to stay close to the target with your feet, your body, everything?
Yeah, if you watch me hit a hook shot or a fade shot, going from P1 to P4, it looks exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Even as you come down like this, right? If I one thing is to watch, if I'm going to fade the ball like this, I'm lined up here, and my hands still come down the angle of approach line this way. My hands just follow that line. If my ball position's back here, if I just let my hands go off followed here, watch, I'm going to hit this over here. It's got to go that way. And it's accurate too, because it goes that way every time. So, if I'm going to hook the golf ball, if I, instead of being open like this, come here and that way, I'm just going to set it a little bit more closed. But the club is coming down the same path here almost. But this time my hand's going left. See the bridge over there? All right. No, not the right, the left bridge. At the yellow flag, if I go a little 5-yard hook, I just have everything just slightly closed, maybe 5 yards, 10 yards, and I'm not going to have my hand go so sharp left. It's going to come over here, but it's my whole left arm's pulling all the way through. Pulling this way. If I'm going to cut it, it's got to be my right arm. Well, if I'm going to cut it, it goes this way. If I'm going to hook the golf ball, my hands have got to go left to get the centrifugal force, everything uncock it and turn it over. You know, 5-yard draw there.
I have another question. Can I ask another question? As if you're trying to hit a shot at this white flag here, and you want to cut it. See, there's trees all on this side. The dog leg, you've lost it. Now you want to hit the same amount of hook. You want to impart the same amount of spin, right to left as left to right.
Right.
Now what happens?
Okay, if you're gonna see what?
You can change your body, the alignment.
No, what? See what the yellow flag is?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say this is all trees going like this.
Okay.
Got it. Now see, if we had our own facilities, I told you I'd have my own plastic trees. and just move however we want to. Okay, 5 minutes. Set it up, guys. Put the trees over. We're gonna hook these balls around it today. Okay. So you put the trees how you want, right? Here, if I'm gonna hit, now this has got to be a real sharp hook. So I got to throw my hips in here a little bit.
Okay.
Along with my left arm to get this thing going over, right? And I'm gonna aim at this thing probably right at the bridge, close it over a few degrees, okay? And this left arm's gonna go wham like this, okay? The problem with this is it pulls you out of your second axis total, okay? This is why, but you got to stay back and down like this, then the momentum will kind of pull you up and out of the shot. You don't come out of the shot because you initiated it that way.
Uh-huh.
But you went with the momentum. Okay, here we go. At the yellow bridge, at the bridge, right? Borderline.
Okay.
Okay.
Now my question is, how do you do the same shot?
Okay, here's the risk. The problem you run into this is
Slice.
that the more six irons are kind of hard to slice like that. The reason why is because you can't the club face. In hooking the golf ball, you're going to come to the club face, turn over like this.
Right.
But to cut the golf ball, you're going to have to get the club face to go this way to put more spin. The joints don't work that way.
So you're saying the reason why it's easier to do this is because of the way your body's designed.
The design
It stops right here.
like this.
What happens if you opened up like this? Like he was talking about a bowler?
Yeah.
What happens if you hit a shot and you were dead
Here, give me a
square
club,
like
I'll show you.
this? And he took it back and he went like that.
Okay, no, there's a way of doing this.
Okay.
You can get away with this with
You showed me a shot one time.
real open. Now what Trevino does, Trevino gets over here like this and goes.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
You put a pretty good spin on it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That wasn't bad.
The other shots you've been hitting, I think what he's saying, Mac, is that they look more like straight pushes. There wasn't any real movement from left to right.
These are hard balls.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is that if I set up this ball like this, and set it open like as such, and move my hands towards the bridge, and let's say go just a little bit left of the orange flag, though, this ball will cut, believe me. Right towards the orange flag. That's about 10 yards.
Is that the maximum you can cut it?
A little bit more.
What happens if you hit a shot like this? Get behind me.
Yeah. The higher the loft is, the more difficult it is.
Yeah. What happens if you did this right here? Yeah, so that now your arm comes through.
Yeah, the only problem is
Go way over
you
like-
have a restricted backswing. So you don't have
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
about as maximum you can cut it.
Yeah, with the higher lofted club. Now you get this is why now if you take here's a 1 iron. Jesus, I mean I hit some shots at Riviera. I remember one time I hit in the trees on 13 to the right. I had to slice it 45 degrees, 50 degrees with 3 irons. I had to start 30 yards out of bounds. What? And I knocked it this far with damn pull. I got to drop and what I did, I went like this, watch. I stood up like this, opened the blade up 15 degrees. But then when I came to impact, I even opened up my hands more this way. It went more of a second tilt than this way. Okay? So let's see the bridges here. Here's a 1 iron. Open the blade up to get more of a loft, not to drive it so far. Okay? And then came to impact, and then literally came down like this, and then opened up my club face this way. So I moved my hands in that direction. That's how you cut the ball.
All right.
Now see where I've gone wrong the last couple years on the tour, when I started having back problems, I started trying to get my hands to go more left, low left to cut it, and I kept hooking it. For some reason, I got out of the habit, and this is, again, are you doing exactly what you think you're doing? Okay? Yeah, I mean, I got to go left, kick the blade open. The only thing is, like Calcavecchi and these guys, they're just lining up like this, and I'm having dead square, and I want to push it towards the bridge. Lined up 20 yards left, all I'm going to do is move my hands, my shoulders are here, move my hands towards the yellow flag, and the ball cuts at the bridge. Every time. So I'm lined up left, move my hands towards the yellow bridge, and then stay behind it. I pushed it. Try another one. Okay? Perfect. That's all Calcavecchi is doing, nothing else. Okay? Nothing else. All he's doing is lining his body up 20 degrees left of the target, move his hands 10 degrees right of the target, the ball goes 0. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. So you got to be really brain dead now. Lined up 20 degrees left, my hands go 10 degrees right of the target, the ball goes right to the target.
So when he has to hit a hook on a dogleg left, he just pulls it.
No, he just goes left. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Or he'll just hit a hard pull.
Now, okay, yeah, so, well, Kelly said in the book, only right arm can push, left arm can pull. So if I want to hit the hook shot here, if I line myself right at the bridge, and it depends what degree my hands go left. If I line up here like this, well, I gotta be careful because I can hit this one arm real hard. But if I line up the bridge and move my hands in a path at the yellow flag, the ball would start between the bridge and the yellow flag, hook there, and depends how much I release it. If I just let my body turn like this, but if I come here like this, turn it over, and then let my body rotate also, I hook it even more. This is how I hit. If I line it at the bridge, my shoulders, let's say, are at the yellow flag, let's say, pretty much. Same.
Your shoulders are a little bit open to where
Club faces. I'm trying to get my club face dead at the bridge.
All right.
Now here, I'm just going to have my hands come in this path right here, not real sharp this direction. And I'm not going to turn my hands over. And watch how this ball will hook. See, it kind of goes behind the target, in between it, and goes 5 to 10 yards. That's just from the body rotation. That was a .30. If I hit the same shot, and this time release my hands, move my left hand in the same trajectory, let my hands consciously turn over, watch the degree of hook on this ball here. The ball will snap. Now if I let my shoulders, hips, and left arm goes, then it just, now there's some shot times you gotta hit these shots. Now see, this is what killed me at Augusta. Every time I tried to hook with my hands. I never knew about the left-hand path. It finally makes sense like Sevi. Sevi comes down like this. Okay, now, all right. So, Sevi, what Sevi does, Sevi comes in here like this, then his body's so far, it'd be perfect for him to block it and cut it, because his head's back here like this. But then he moves his left arm left, and he gets this whiplash effect. And then he comes through the ball, and he's got his whole body left, 30 degrees left of the target. Heck, if you're going to hook it, this guy's going to hook the golf ball. If he wants to hook it, keep your shoulders closed, like this. Well, he brings it all the way around like this. Even when he goes to hook it, and that's why you see him go like this. It's the worst action of all time. I've called him in the last 3 weeks. Him and Joe Collette and those guys never returned the phone call, nothing, 0. I was told he's going to come play at Bay Hill. Because I was going to tell him to come over here for a week. I'd straighten all this stuff out for him.
You called him or he called you?
No, I called over there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's told me for the last 2 or 3 years that he would come over here for a week to go over all the stuff, right? Or I go to Spain. He would do for physical training and everything. So if he's gonna hit these hook shots, he should just go like this. Just move your left arm. Just go like this. There's your little hook. That's the hook shot you want.
Are you consciously restricting your shoulders?
You have to. But what Sevi does, Sevi gets over like this, he gets so over, then he throws his head back, then he moves his left arm independent of the body, and he gets his whiplash, and it comes out, and he's 30 degrees left of target. It's so hard, okay?
What dictates the line of the divot there, Mac, if your hands are going that far to the left like that, when you're really trying to hook one and your divot's still going right
But no, it's his shoulders going to make the divot go out. If I work my shoulders like this, it changes the path of the hands. You can't get your body going left and your arms going off this way.
Right.
It's too hard. Because remember, you got one force going left, the other one's going this way. Then you get. If I just put my arms up here like that, or this arm here, I get reflexes automatically adjusting myself.
So where the shoulders are at impact will determine whether the divot aims left or right.
Absolutely, no question. Keith, the Clearwater. Clearwater's biggest problem is comes down to here like this. He's dead shut 20 degrees every time. And then he also comes around like this as well. He's dead shut. So that's how. If you're going to hook it like Casper and these guys, stay close. Look at this. The line of compression is to the right. See, nobody's really explained yet how to get the ball to start right of your intended line and then hook it into the line. A lot of times you'll line up, let's say I want to hook the ball at the yellow flag, and I'm ready to go, and I'm lined up to the right of the target, and then I hit this shot. Left of the target all the way. Right? That's because the hips are firing too much. Because then what happens is, as you're coming down like this, the hips rotate too quick, then you release it, and the ball goes left. That's what happens there. With this hook shot like this, you're not trying to fire your hips or shoulders. You're just bringing your left arm down like this. It automatically uncloses the shoulders. All you just have to know is what degree of movement you play in your left hand, and you just pull it through. Because if I keep my arms right here and pull my left arm, it squares up my shoulders. I can square this blade up by just turning my shoulders, or pulling my left arm, or turning my hips.
Straightening your right arm.
Right. Another point. So I could hit this shot here with a moderate hook by just knowing exactly how much my left arm, where it's going to be as it follows down the line, come around the axis here. And do I turn my hands over, or do I just kind of like pull my left arm through and let it go over? This one I'm just going to pull my left arm through. I blocked it. If I want to release the hands, turn that over as well.
You're consciously rolling your hands there?
That way. My left arm felt like
have
this.
to be.
My left arm felt like this. No Stravino fade. Now I can go left like this without turning my hands over, and I can also turn it over. Then it just cold snaps. If I see this ball firing up, if I aim this forearm right out of the club face, 5 degrees closed, really have my hands as low as I can through impact, hands going far left and turning over, releasing. Watch this. Shoulders back. Shoulders lined up the same way. Have my hands move a little bit more this way and no release. There's your 5 to 10 yard hook, soft hook. Your hips, shoulders, left arm, and hands are going to turn over to the left.
Hey, didn't see that ball. Did you guys see that ball? I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I never saw it.
Another ball, another ball.
But
But see, this is what my problem at Augusta.
about
And it's always bothered me with this program. Most of the time, you hit the fade shots. How do you hit the hook shots? If you're going to be a real good ball striker, how do you hit the hookies? Like if I played Augusta now, all I do is just get top of my swing, know how much I want my shoulders closed, and keep them closed, and have my left arm pulled down. Get these lazy little hooks like this all day. The shoulders, you're trying to keep your shoulders closed throughout the whole swing. Pins back left at 15 in the fairway. Aim at the right bunkers, take it up. Perfect. Perfect. And you know, this is, I'm going to hit this forehand at about 6.0. Try to punch that one. He's got a 5-iron. It's really interesting. You know how many times at 16 I got up in the freaking tournament? Oh! Let's put this on the video.
We got it on the video.
You know how many times I got up in the 16th hole and I feel my stomach now.
I'm sorry, man.
How many times you get up in the 16th hole and line up to the right like this? Okay, I know the pin's right, but I'm going to hook it left. Oh, man. Just pull the left arm. Little lazy hook, boys. Watch that one. Actually, you know what I would do right now? I'd drive them all nuts. I'd tell everybody, watch this. When I get to 12 last day, I'm starting at 15 yards right of the hole. And I'm going to hook it into the hole and put it on the right of the pin. Watch this, boys. Aim it to the right, 10-mile-an-hour wind. Pulled it off. Perfect. Right of the hole. I swear I do it. I would tell the people, I don't care what I'm doing today, I'm going to show you guys the hooks of hooks. Right of the hole. Move my left arm left. Sucker's got a hook. That ball has some brazen
Like you say, it's backwards of what you think.
Hold on. 7-iron.
Look at you doing
At the
with your right
bridge,
hand.
12th hole, hook it left. Thank you. $15-yard hook. Uh-oh. It's amazing now. Rick, give me a blotted ball. You got a little ball? Right, you get in there. What's your shaft on? Hey, watch this. Come here. Watch this. I feel like the kick is up here or something. Is that the height? Is that high enough?
yeah.
All right, watch. Watch this one. Okay. 20% more height on this one. Proud.
Good job, buddy.
What you have to do is you have to have full release Stay behind it and get your hands going outward. Now watch this, watch this, watch this. I'll hit the same shot, but I'm going to go more left, aim more left this time. This is a little bit downhill lie here. Now that is, I'm open up here, my hands are like going to the white flag, a little bit to the right of that. Let's try.
Let me hit the line.
Okay.
I'm gonna wear it out first.
I'm gonna stand by. What kind of flight are we trying to hit?
Flight?
Yeah, what kind of flight?
Just normal.
Hey, real close.
6.
Okay, so if you're, where do you think your shoulders are when you hit these shots? The P6. Are they square, open? Are they
Probably pretty square.
pretty square? Okay, hit one of these with a 15-yard hook, which you normally would.
15-yard hook.
Yeah, and how do you hook it? Do you hook it with your shoulders? Do you with your hands? Do you just move your arms left? And I think when you hit those hooks, your arms, with your left hand's going left.
If I was to aim at the cart there,
Yeah.
I'd aim started to the right. Just shut it down.
Okay, but my point here is when you come through,
I'm going out this way.
What?
I'm going to go out this way.
Okay, yeah, 'cause that's where the shoulders are kind of thrown out, and then try to turn over the hands. This time, just move your arms left without turning your hands over.
Okay.
So a sharper hook, without even trying to feel like turning your hands over. It's just, it takes a couple shots to get used to it. I mean, wait, I can hook it now without turning my hands over? I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
What? I can? No, show me. So this is, you know what happens here? Centrifugal force drive turns everything over. Somebody told me I could hit those shots at Augusta like that. 'Cause you know they say you got hooked to golf ball there. Do you believe that? Nicholas is a fader. He's won 5, 6 times. He's faded the golf ball. Okay.
But it helps to be able to hook it off the tee,
Okay.
but not from the fairway.
Now, if you hit a 5 or 10 yard moderate draw like this, instead of having the left hand go so far left like this, there's a path that instead of it going here, you go more down along that way. Okay. And you're trying to lose your leg when you go from 4 to 6.
But,
No, not your left leg. Lag, L-A-G.
oh, okay.
Now see that those balls are going left, left? You got your hips though, you have your hips going like this. Your hips will rotate too much, and then when you release it's going more left. There's no hips in the shot.
Well, where am I trying to start the ball, right?
Yeah, right. Let's say the guy to the right of the cart.
All right.
Okay. Just keep your try to just keep your hips closed. I mean, they're gonna go over, but not to a point that you're trying to thrust it. The hips are almost literally taking out of the shot. And all you're doing is pulling down with your left arm. Okay, now, ready? Hit the same shot, then have 5 to 10 more degrees second dorsal tilt. More like this. More behind it this way, because if you move forward like this, it turns over even more, okay? So you got to stay a little bit more behind the golf ball. See how that drove the ball to the right more? Okay, now these are just compensations that you have to build into your memory system. How much second dorsal tilt, how much rotation of the arms or the shoulders. See these balls going right now instead of not going left? Now I would tell you here, slow down the shoulder thrusting as well. Just get it from your left arm just to come like this. Try to keep your shoulders back. And the ball's hooking too much, so still there's too much thrust in this one. You get strictly from your left arm. Right there. That's the shot I hit. First shot, one. This is how you focus. See the length of the hooks now? Alright. This time, set up. Move your left arm quickly. I don't know how lazy this is. Going here versus inside of that line. Just have your shoulders a little bit more open. Then you get your soft as well. Shoulders and hips, and then they gotta start opening up a little bit more towards the bottom so they don't so close. That's how you just get the little baby. Time into the shoulders and hips. Does that make sense? You flat one. As close as you can, just one minute. Maybe a minute now if you want a little baby draw. Go ahead.
But that's throwing the arm out this way.
Yeah, do you think so? No, because you know why? The momentum, the shoulders are going to pull this way. You're going to move your arms left of where the shoulder wants to pull the arms out. Get it? Watch, if you just turn your shoulders, come here. You just turn your shoulders, right, exactly. Do it again. You just turn your shoulders, don't, just let your hands follow where your shoulders are going to throw your arms up. They'll go off like this, your arms. Okay. Now this time, have your shoulders move the same line, move your arms off this way. Exactly. That's how Casper hits it. The more you can get it going left and your shoulders still go off this way, the more you'll hook the ball over the left. Now all you got to do is
still
move
sharp going this way, isn't it?
Yes. And as driven before turns the dead over.
Kind of fighting this centrifugal because the energy that wants to send your hands down that line.
Yeah, you're moving it left of the shoulder rotation. Go ahead. Good. Rotate left of the shoulder rotation. How many times you get out there and you just, I want to hook the ball so bad in this shot. I got to hook it, you can't hook it. And you feel like your whole body went like this. Okay, it won't hook. Well, you know what? The shoulder's dead open. Now one thought. What about please? You got, where's your left arm going to be through 6, 7, and 8? Okay? Just goes left. And then this time, and this you do, aim it more right. Now this time, turn your shoulders and hips left also. No, when you come through 6, 7, and 8, move your hands left. To really snap it. And release your hands. Alright, now watch this. Do this one. This time, tee it up. Have your shoulders 5 degrees. Have your shoulders. Do everything like you would. Do everything you would like you hit the ball absolutely dead straight. Okay. Your shoulders are going to be, let's say, 5 degrees open at impact.
Okay.
But your hands are going a little bit left. Little baby draw. This time, have your shoulders 15 degrees open.
To impact?
Yeah, to impact. 15 degrees open.
Play with apex shaft.
Yeah.
5,
4.
6.
No.
Let's go as hard as you can swing here.
With the slice?
Yeah. Okay. 10 yards. Excellent. Oh, that was perfect. Ooh, that was nice.
Hope I'm getting over the other fairway.
You're fine.
See that the ball trajectory was like that though.
You don't like that?
Not with a railer.
You got balls that are rocks. You don't know what they're going to do. This is not a fair representation of what the ball's going to do. And when you get out of the heat, boy, you just want to be able to control the direction of the golf ball. You have no problem with distance and controlling distance. You want direction. Excellent. 5-yard fade. Killer. This time, let's go 15 degrees across your target line.
This way?
These just normal straight shots?
Yeah.
Normal straight shots.
Radial deviation, you're deviating towards the radial bone on top. Okay. And if you uncock it like this, it goes 55 degrees. All right. So if you bend this, let's say 20 degrees to the right, that's called dorsiflexion. If you cock your wrist upward, it can go 45 degrees. So everything Hogan said about the left hand going to the top. When Hogan said at the top of the swing, he wanted his backwards left wrist bent like this. That's the only way you can get this club leg, keep the club this to get a 45-degree angle, and you got to keep on. It's the only way you can do it.
You get it cocked this way.
This way. It's the only way you can do it. Now, one thing that Tom Watson, and those guys did. Now do this. Put your left hand like this. Okay. You filming this?
Yeah, I am.
You have the right angle for this.
Right here.
If you take the back of the left hand and go square to square, go like that. Top of the swing, what's come up. Okay. Now try to cock your wrist. You can't cock. So that's why all those guys that had this cock at the top could never get the top of the swing with this club and keep the leg coming all the way down. That's why. And then also the more you have it in the palm of your hand, the less you can cock the wrist. So you can have it in the palm of your hand, try to bend this 45 degrees, you still won't cock that much. It's really amazing. Won't cock that much. But you get in your fingers, allows you to bend it even more.
Right.
And that's why you want your right hand in the fingers as well. So a lot of guys who lay it off, they go like this. They'll set up as such like this, go to the top here, and they just keep it like this. Even though they haven't fully cocked the right wrist, it's got to come this way. It's got to come up here like this to score the club shaft in. A lot of guys just keep it off like this. They just take it up here, and they don't really cock the wrist, right? And if this is bent, then when you go to cock it like this, it's supposed to go this way. A lot of guys keep trying to cock it that direction. It actually changes.
Okay.
So it actually comes up like that. Now, watch this one. If I take out, hold this. If I take the club shaft, I go P1, this is bent 20 degrees. I go P1 to P2, like this, plane. I should be able to almost turn around. This is going to be about 5 degrees more forward press. You know why? Because when I go from P1 to P2, club shaft is now 100 degrees, the left arm of the club shaft. So it's slightly cocked. So just by cocking the wrist, it increases this angle. You get it?
Yeah.
So if I go P1 to P2 like this, my right wrist is about 25 degrees. Here is 20 degrees. So if I go P1 to P2, this right back of the right wrist is going to increase its angle. Okay. As I go to P3 like this, it's still going to increase its angle. It stays the same. Then when I go to P5, that's when it's maximum, it's bent to the maximum. That's how you get the leg. To show you this representation of it, this is bent 20 degrees right now. See if I raise my wrist like this, look what happens to it. Look, stand over here, look at my right wrist, it's flat now.
Yeah.
Because the wrists are uncocking. If they cock, they increase the angle. If they uncock, they start flattening out. So, and then the more it flattens out, the more it turns over. Centrifugal force turns it over automatically. That's why you got to keep the back of the right wrist bent, especially these cut fade shots like this. Now watch this. You want to hit these big 100-yard slices. What you have to do is, when you get up here at P4 like this, if the right wrist stays bent 80 degrees, it can go 85 degrees to the right. If it bends 85 degrees to the right, here I want to come down to P6, it's going to be about 20-25 degrees, back of the right wrist. This will line up the club shaft absolutely perfect. This is 20-25 degrees. If I have the right wrist bent 80 degrees, look where the club it is now.
Way inside.
Okay. Now if I want to hit these cut shots like this, slice, then I want the back of my right wrist. If I go to hit this shot that's going to go 50-yard slice to the right, when I come like this, I'm going to line up left. When I come through the ball like this, I'm going to have the back of the right wrist bent like this, 80 degrees. It's the maximum I can get it to come that way. And then I'm going to flip it up like this and I have a 100-yard slice. Has to. It can't. I mean, it can't go left. Now what O'Mara and those guys do, they'll get it in here like, they'll take the club up to the top, they'll take it outside this way, bend it 85 degrees, take it to the top, come down inside like this, then they come over the top and then release it outward that way. It's really complicated. So if I hit, watch this shot here. Let's get this on top. Good, right? I'll line up this shot right here at the yellow white flag, and I'm going to come down to impact like this. I'm going to have the back of my right wrist bent 85 degrees. My hand is going to go to the left of the yellow flag. The club head field is going to be, club head is going to be lined up right of the yellow flag. The ball's going to go towards the 10 feet, even though I'm lined up to the right over there, and to the left. Let me hit one more because I'm not quite knocked up. So I have to get this more pronounced with my right hand going across the line and have this more bent. Left. So there's adjustment here to be made. So the last thing is if you set up and if your wrists go uncocked, this flattens out. The more cocked you get, the more it gets bent.
So there is a cocking with the hands.
Yeah.
But it doesn't cock this way, it cocks up.
Upward. And but by cocking upward, it will change this angle.
Mm-hmm.
You get that?
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Right. Do you think you do that when you hit your wet shots around the greens? When you got to hit these lob shots over these trees?
Oh yeah.
Bet your life
Yeah.
you got to do it. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. And you know how long they've known these anatomical terms of radial deviation? This is called palmar flexion when the back of the left wrist goes inwards. No, the bottom. This one. This goes, left hand moves towards the shoulder. It's called dorsiflexion. This one. This is neutral, and this is palmar flexion. Supination, pronation.
So once if you cocked it properly at P2,
yeah,
you're right up when you just keep turning. As you uncocked, came back, it would be
pretty much
the same spot.
Much. The only thing is, the difference here is
Wouldn't be like this.
Yeah, no. You're gonna try to keep it at 6 if you're gonna fade the ball. With the centrifugal force and all that stuff away from the flat.
Torque twist a little bit there.
Flat.
Okay.
Okay.